Have you ever wondered how a true genius gets you hooked from the very first page? Well, what if I told you that one of the greatest playwrights ever, George Bernard Shaw, lays out his entire argument in just the first 10 minutes of a play? Today, we're jumping into his masterpiece of comedy, Arms in the Man, to find that secret weapon he uses to grab his audience and show his entire hand right from the opening scene. So the curtain goes up, and this is the first thing we hear. This is the world Shaw wants us to see. One built on these breathless, romantic dreams of our heroine, Raina Petkoff. She is completely head over heels for her fiancé, who's this big-shot war hero. This is the fantasy, right? The grand illusion of noble wars and amazing heroes. But Shaw has invited us here to watch him tear that whole thing down.
So, on the surface, you're probably thinking, okay, a classic tale of love and glory, I get it, but this is our very first clue that we're not watching some straightforward epic. See, Shaw is an absolute master of satire, and with every single line, he's basically nudging us, inviting us to question the very world he's showing us.
And just look at this contrast he sets up. The time, it's 1885, during the Serbo-Bulgarian War, a real, brutal, historical conflict. But where does he put us? Not on the battlefield? No. He puts us right here, in a young lady's very fancy bedroom. And that choice isn't just about the location. It's a huge statement. The real war Shaw wants to talk about isn't fought with guns. It's fought inside our own heads. And get this, before anyone even says a single word, Shaw's own stage directions give away the game. The room is half rich, half pretentious. I mean, that's not just interior design advice. It's a perfect metaphor for the whole world of the play. It's all shiny on the surface, but underneath, it's built on social climbing, and let's be honest, a little bit of self-deception. And these are the folks living in this little bubble. They're all wrapped up in their own carefully built fantasies. You've got Raina, who's lost in her romance novels, her mother, Catherine, who is obsessed with being high class, and of course, Sergius, the celebrated hero who won his fame in a completely ridiculous cavalry charge. They are the perfect little snow globe of illusion that Shaw is about to shake up. Because this carefully constructed world of dreams, it's about to get a very, very rude awakening. And it doesn't arrive in a letter from the front lines. Nope. It arrives in the most unexpected way possible. An enemy soldier, who is the exact opposite of a hero. Just try to picture the chaos here. Alarms are going off outside, soldiers are hunting for fugitives, and then suddenly, a man scrambles over the balcony and just stumbles, totally exhausted and terrified, right into Raina's bedroom. He's an enemy soldier, and with his desperate arrival, the real world has literally just crashed through the window of Raina's private fantasy. And this slide right here, it perfectly captures the play's central fight, all in two characters. On one side, you have Sergius, the ideal hero from Raina's dreams. And on the other, you have Captain Blunchley, the real soldier, a total professional who admits he ran for his life and, famously, carries chocolates instead of extra ammo. Why? Because any experienced soldier knows that energy is way more useful than empty bravado. In one sharp, hilarious comparison, the whole romantic idea of war just shatters. Now, this amazing collision of characters isn't just some clever plot twist. No, this is Shaw pulling out his true secret weapon. He's taking a part of the play that's often, let's face it, kind of boring, and he's turning it into a tool for razor-sharp satire. That weapon is called exposition. So, for anyone who doesn't know, exposition is just the beginning of a story. It's where the author gives you the basic info. You know, where we are, who's involved, and what's going on. In the wrong hands, it can be a total info dump, a real snooze fest. But Shaw, he turns it completely on its head. He uses this devastatingly simple three-step method. First, he lures us in with that fakey, romantic, heroic setup. Then, he fills that world with characters who aren't just people. They're walking, talking symbols of big ideas. And finally, bam, he lights the fuse on the real conflict, which was never Serbia versus Bulgaria. It was always illusion versus truth. So now that we're in on the secret, we can see how Shaw literally lays out his entire philosophical blueprint in these opening minutes. The complete plan for the rest of the play is right there, just hiding in plain sight. Look at this. These characters are basically walking arguments in Shaw's great debate. Raina is pure romantic idealism. Her mother, Catherine, is class vanity personified. Sergius, he embodies the total emptiness of false heroism. And then there's Blunchley, our chocolate cream soldier. He represents the messy, inconvenient truth that has just crashed their party. And this
is so crucial to get. The military war is just the backdrop, it's just the stage. The real battle, the one Shaw actually cares about, is the one being fought between the pretty fantasies we build for ourselves and the hard, practical facts of the real world. And once you start looking, you see the symbolism is layered absolutely everywhere. Raina's bedroom isn't just a room, it's a mind cluttered with romantic daydreams. Blunchley climbing in through the balcony, that's the messy, uninvited arrival of truth itself. And the chocolates? Oh, the chocolates are brilliant. They represent a sweet, practical rationality that proves way more valuable than all the empty heroism of violence. So, this masterful opening is so much more than just a setup. In Arms and the Man, the first act isn't just the beginning of the story. In a lot of ways, it's the entire story, just told in miniature. That's right, one. By the end of just one single act, Shaw has already shown us his entire hand. He's laid out the whole moral and philosophical framework. The rest of the play is just us getting to watch the hilarious and brilliant consequences of this first collision play out. I mean, just think about everything he accomplishes in these first few scenes. He establishes that the real fight is between illusion and reality. He exposes the core weakness of every single main character. He locks in the tone as this sharp, satirical comedy. And he hooks us with one massive question. What on earth is going to happen when these illusions finally shatter for good? This really captures Shaw's approach perfectly. His opening isn't a battering ram. It's this polite but very firm knock on the door of his character's self-deception. He uses comedy to disarm us, to make us laugh so we're open to the really serious ideas underneath. We laugh first, and then we start to think. And that, right there, is the ultimate takeaway. Shaw uses the backdrop of a war to show us that the most important battles we ever fight are always the ones inside ourselves. That constant struggle between who we pretend to be and who we really are. So, Shaw brilliantly used a pragmatic soldier armed with chocolate creams to poke fun at the grand illusions of heroism and class in his day. And that leaves us with a pretty big question for our own time, doesn't it? What are the grand illusions we're living by today? And who or what will be our chocolate cream soldiers that finally help us see the truth? Thanks for digging into this with me.